Hi, I'm Corey Palmer, the QA manager here at Red Wing Software, and today I'd like to show you how to use CPSnap. CPSnap is our new AI-enabled web app, which is especially designed to work on mobile phones, that allows you to take a picture of a receipt or a AP invoice and then bring that into CenterPoint without having to do a lot of additional data entry. It can bring in receipts and create payments, or AP invoices to create invoices inside the system. And then it remembers how you set these up the first time you do it, so that the more snaps you take, the smarter CenterPoint gets and the easier data entry is. To get started, there is just a little bit of setup that needs to be done in CenterPoint. That is under Setup, Online Services. If you haven't registered for our online services yet, when you first open this up, it will have a registration button that you'll just want to click. Once it's registered, go to the Vendor Invoice Payment Scanning tab. Everyone for free gets to scan up to 25 documents a month for the company. If you need more than that, please contact our sales department and get you hooked up with additional scans. Then to do the scanning, the people who are going to use the app, either on their phone or it can also be used on a desktop, but the people who are going to be doing the scans need to be set up in your database so we know they have access and rights to do so. So this is just an email address and a name, and they'll log in using that email address, and that's how the system will know that the pictures they take of their AP documents and receipts are tied to this company. And you also have to set up the company. This is just linking the company to a company inside CenterPoint, so it needs to know which of the CenterPoint companies this is, and you can have multiple CenterPoint companies set up to use CenterPoint Snap. The default bank account that the transactions will be created for, if they are receipts, that'll be cash payments. And this can be changed at the time you bring the transactions into CenterPoint, but we just want a default there. Same thing for the AP account. If you are scanning AP vendor invoices, we need to know which AP account to use by default. You can also assign default production detail. So if you have a profit center, production center location that you'd like to assign by default, you can set those defaults up here. And then which users of your list of users have access to scan for this company. So my user is selected. And then you have the options if you want to put that user's name in the memo line so that when you look at these transactions later in CenterPoint, you know who scanned the invoice or receipt. And then do you want to keep those scanned documents, those pictures, as attachments on the transactions? And then this is active. So just going to click OK there. And that's all the setup in CenterPoint before people can be active and using CPSnap on their own devices. I'm just going to bring up the website for CPSnap, which is cpsnap.redwingsoftware.com. And this is available on desktop, but is actually designed to be used on a mobile device so that you can take pictures of your receipts on the go. It will ask you to log in, and then just needs you to log in with a Red Wing software account. If this user already has an account to log into the Red Wing software website, or if you use our payroll web services, the employee portal, it's the same login. If you don't have a login yet, just click Create One. Go ahead and log in. That's going to let me in to do my scanning. If you are on a phone, you can click Add to Home Screen here. It will give you instructions on how to add this website to your home screen so it has an icon and works just like an app. And that is super convenient if you are using this on your phone. Then it's just, are you scanning an invoice or are you scanning a receipt? I'm going to scan a receipt today for a purchase I made. If you are on a phone, this will open the camera up and let you take a picture of that receipt. But since I'm on a PC, it's going to default to letting me upload the document. And you can drag and drop them here, and it can be like a PDF if you received a invoice as a PDF or any sort of image file. Go ahead and click upload and pick one to upload here. And you can pick multiple. You can select multiple at a time or drag multiple at a time, and it will scan them all. So here you can see the AI is doing its thing, and it brought up the receipt to review. If you scanned as a receipt and realized this would be better handled as an invoice, you can rescan as an invoice. And then here you can see that receipt in full size if you would like. And then the AI read my vendor name, my vendor address, the date of the receipt, payment method. It got all of that from the receipt itself. There is a confidence level here that you can click and see how confident the AI is. If there's anything that the AI is not confident that it read correctly, it will highlight that and alert you. And any of these details can be changed if anything is incorrect. Here I've got detail lines on the receipt. I can click to expand those and see all the different detail lines on the receipt. This was some groceries. And then at the bottom, we can see the subtotal, any tax. If there is a difference between your subtotal and your total that's not accounted for by the taxes, it will let you know. And then you can click to add an additional charge or an additional tax or make any changes you need to make sure that the total of this receipt is correct. And then when it's all looks good, we can click scan another to do another scan or submit to CenterPoint. Here, back on my main menu now, if I click on Scan Documents, I can see that that document is waiting, and I can review it if I want. Once it has been brought into CenterPoint, then it will disappear off this list. I'm going to jump back into CenterPoint now, so I can show you how you would bring those in on the CenterPoint side. Under Processes, Purchases, Vendor, Invoice, and Payment Scanning is where you bring in the documents that were scanned by CPSnap. It's going to ask for the customer, and if you want to narrow this down to a specific user, you can, and then click Get Latest. And that will bring in the transactions that are waiting on the CPSnap app. So you can see it brought in my Walmart for my bread and 30 other items. And it is in red here because I have not brought in an invoice for this vendor before, so it doesn't know how I want to map it. Just double click on the row to add any of the details. So this came in as a payment because I scanned a receipt, but if it should have been an invoice, I can switch it at this point. The vendor is Walmart, and it needs to know who I mapped that to in my database. So I have a vendor called Walmart, so I'll just add that. The payment method on this was a Discover card, and here it shows my default bank account is my cash. Since I used the credit card here, I'm going to select that Discover card. And then I have all these detail items that I can map to a specific account, or I can map to a specific inventory item if I had purchased inventory. In this case, this is all groceries, and I'm not really concerned about itemizing that in CenterPoint. So I can click Summarize Detail, and then I just get one row, and I can detail this and say, I want this to go to my groceries expense account. At this point, I can pick a profit center, a location, a project if I need to tag it to any of that. And if it were an inventory item, I could have picked an inventory item instead. You can still view the document if you'd like to take another glance at the receipt itself. I'm just going to hit apply. Everything looks good here, so I'm going to hit apply. And now it all is green because I have everything mapped. And then all I need to do to add it to CenterPoint is select it and click Add. Now it learns how I mapped that. So if I came back out to CenterPoint Snap and I brought in a very similar transaction again, I can come here and get my latest. Note that right now it already knows the last time I saw these items, it was Walmart. And the last time I summarized that as groceries. So it did it the same way. If I didn't want to have it use it the same way this time, I can come in here and I can make those changes if I needed to. If this time I wanted to itemize it, I could. And then it caught that this was actually the exact same transaction. So there is this little alert here that this appears to be a duplicate. So it does stop you from trying to scan the same invoice twice or the same receipt twice. And then if we want to, we can see that in CenterPoint under the transaction search. This was to Walmart on 5/29. So if I come in here, look at my transactions on 5/29, I can see it made a payment to Walmart using my Discover card and put to groceries. And in the memo line, I can see that it put Sam's name. And if I click on the attachments, I can see that the scanned document was attached. So I have that if I need to refer to it in the future. And that's all there is to it. Thank you for joining me.